I pledged in life that I would never live with a lady. I decided when I was about 14 or 15 years old that I would never live with a woman, no matter how difficult life became, and even if I were to become homeless. Let me tell you exactly what I witnessed that yanked me out of the blue pill matrix at such a young age. When you're a teenager, all you can think about is sliding up into some nice sugary walls and getting into a relationship with the attractive lady at your school. It's true. I don't want any of you viewing this right now to act as if you were thinking of going your own way as an adolescent. I was driving down the road, waiting for my friend, when I observed one of the tenants persistently hammering on the door. Guess which gender was out in the freezing night, pounding on the door to get inside? I grew interested in the scenario, so I moved in closer to hear what was going on, and perhaps find out why the man was left outside, hammering on the door with no answer. So I got a little closer and began to listen in on the discussion this man was having. And it was discovered that he was living with a woman. I was only a few meters away, but he kept crying out to the woman, practically asking her to let him into the house. This was the point at which I became disgusted with the situation because, prior to that night, I remembered seeing the person taking care of this woman's daughter while she was in the States, and seeing how he was handled made me feel disgusted with the entire situation. So the guy returned and begged the wife to open the door and let him in. She decided to give the guy a lesson. I witnessed a man lowering himself in front of a woman because he needed to rely on her, and I resolved that day that I would never be in that situation again. You see, the woman had rented the house, and he was only staying there as her boyfriend. I'm not sure if he was helping to pay the bills, but I witnessed firsthand the contempt that can occur when you live beneath a women's shelter, and I didn't want any of it. The underlying message, though, is to never live with a woman. What happens to you in life is irrelevant to me. Under no circumstances should you live with a woman. I'd rather you sleep on one of your friend's sofas and get your life back on track than move in and live up under a woman, subject to her rules and dealing with her. Because many men don't realize what they're getting themselves into, and in their minds, moving in with a woman implies you can get more segs in life for less money. Let me tell you something that isn't true about what will happen to the vast majority of men who choose to cohabitate under a woman's roof. Many men feel that cohabiting with a woman under his or her roof will result in greater bedroom pleasure than living apart. The truth is, that's not what usually happens when you live with a woman, and any honest, married man will tell you that the bedroom fun will dwindle with time. When you first move in with a woman, you'll go at it like rabbits, having back-blown-out sessions numerous times a day. Then what will happen is that real life will occur, bills must be paid, and other duties will arise. So you won't have time to fornicate. You'll become complacent with each other, and you'll see a different side of that woman. You didn't realize it when you were living apart because when you're living together, she'll put in the effort to appear good for you and disguise a lot of her flaws. However, if you guys move in together, she won't have to put up any effort because you're not going away. Now that you live with her, you'll view her as a normal human being, and you won't like the majority of her. She will most likely make you do chores or create a reward system in order for her to have bedroom fun with you. The last thing that will happen is that you will lose interest in each other. When you live apart, you have more time to think about and miss the other person because you don't know them well. There is an element of mystery there that will prolong the attraction a little longer. Living with a woman removes all of that and causes you to lose interest in each other because you will get to see her for who she is and not who you fantasize about her being. All of the events I've mentioned will occur in some form or another. In terms of living expenses and the myth that they will save money living with a more complete woman and other nonsense, you will end up spending more money with. If you want to save money, don't move in with a lady. Now that we've dispelled those two fallacies, let's have a look at the key reasons why you shouldn't live with a woman. I do not advise living with a woman. Allow her to move in with you if you have to because you're horny. Don't allow her pick up the mail at your house. Give her no key to your house. Don't allow her identify herself as your girlfriend to your neighbors. Also, do not put her name on any leases or mortgages. Guys, I know you want to live with your boo and roar all the time inside her. Even though I just busted that myth. You will have no control over her home. Even if you pay half or more of the bills in that house, she will make it plain that you are in her domain and she will not be disturbed. You see this all the time in marriages, where the male claims to stay in his man cave while the wife and kids have the rest of the enormous house to themselves. It's unfortunate, but he placed himself in that position by marrying her. You will never have serenity, peaceful freedom, or solitude. As long as you live with a woman, she will be there all day, every day, chatting, whining, arguing, and making up nonsense in order to attract your attention or cause a drama. Living under the roof of a modern woman will never provide you with a pleasant house. So, if any of these things are important to you, don't live with a woman. She can bring in another man at any time and kick you out. Living with women introduces drama, instability, and upheaval into your life. That is how most men will experience life on this drifting rock in space. Because you have more control when you have your own house, you can better regulate and handle her destructive actions. But when you live under her roof, you have none. How frequently have you heard of a woman moving a man during a divorce? She moved into the marital home, and they started living together while the husband had to go into an apartment. Gentlemen, this occurs frequently. So once again, don't live with a woman and you won't have to deal with any of them. These are the most common reasons why a man should never live with a woman. If you already live with one, focus on becoming self-sufficient and a true macho guy by living on your own. It should not be necessary to rely on a woman for anything. Strive for your own independence.